Hey, here's a great question. You thought as a single mom working barely 26 hours with all these symptoms that you could not afford to invest in this program and in your own health. How has your perspective shifted, or has it since then? I mean, you're a year out. What has changed for you?
I was going to say it's hugely different. And as you know, I stalked the program for over a year?
Stalked, not stopped, stalked. Yes.
That was the problem is I knew that I needed the teaching and the learning that was available in this program.
You needed a pattern interrupt big time. You could not continue to do the same thing you had the previous 10 years and have the same worse results over the next 10 years. You're like, I need to stop this now. And
so part of me, again, going back to that external locus of control, there was a little bit of a, well, this isn't fair. I can't afford this. I should be, this is out of reach.
Okay.
And I reached a point where it's like, this is ridiculous. And I had heard
suffering in your life and the limitation on your ability to even make money was was creating obstacles that almost felt unreachable to solve.
Right. And I remember listening to other interviews and people talking about how much the program had changed, even, that they had job promotions. And I'm like, how can that be true?
Okay. How can it? Is it true?
It is true. I left my hospital-based job and it wasn't necessarily all by choice. It was, I had two little people at home that have special needs. I needed to be taking care of them. And so it became this, okay, now what? A year ago, I would have panicked. Or I guess a year and a half ago, I would have flipped out and panicked and be like, okay, what am I going to do? And instead, I didn't miss a beat. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, private practice, we're going to do this. And I had enough energy and enough motivation to say, okay, we're going to do this. And
you started your own businesswoman is what you did.
And I am now making, within 6 months, as much and on the verge of making more than I was in the hospital-based setting. And I'm working half as hard, which means there is a huge income growth potential. And that's because I have energy. I have just a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And a sense, and then again, it was that mindset piece of this falls on me to make this work, and not in a negative way, in an empowered kind of way.
Well, I tell people that I don't advertise it or really go into the fact that really our sixth pillar, our 5 pillars are all medical, but our 6th true pillar is actually mindset work and community support.
Yeah.
And to me, that one of the biggest things that I love, a struggle I had myself that I had to overcome was trusting myself. And I'm a doctor, you know? So people are like, if you can't trust yourself, who can? Well, I had to learn these skills of mindset and changing how I think, implementing, seeing results, before I could say, hi, I trust myself. And then I started to share and teach it with other people. And now you know the whole story, which is like, 10, 12 years after my big disastrous health fall, it's become like this huge impetus to be able to train and teach other people how to think like me, how to troubleshoot, and how to have self-trust. I think that's hard-earned. And I love the fact that I'm able to teach people how to earn and learn their self-trust.
Absolutely. I was going to say, and it was crazy too, because you would think as a pediatric psychologist that I would know that. And, I rationally, of course I did.
Sit down.
But I couldn't apply it for myself. And it took, reaching that stage where like, enough, I can't keep doing this. And thank goodness I did, because if I had gone into the pandemic, not in the place that I was, it could have been a very different outcome.
Well, what you're saying is, to me, like a lot of people think that it's out of reach it's not that it's out of reach or that they're unwilling or unable to invest in their own health. And what you're saying is like at the other side of it is a huge improvement in the quality of your life, decrease or end to your symptoms. And number 3, incredible new opportunities to actually create wealth.
Yeah.
Not just financially, but here. and with your family people in your family. You can create wealth when you are physically well.
Absolutely. And it's really, it's amazing to be sitting on that point now where it's like, okay, I can keep doing the amount I'm doing now and be living comfortably, or I can put in just a little bit more and be able to make that bump in lifestyle, or, you know, pay for the home repairs that I have to pay for.
I love that.
But not be flipping out about it.
I love that. Here's a question. Why did you almost not join the program?
Because I was scared.
What were you scared of?
I was scared that I was going to spend all of this money that I felt like I didn't have. Mm-hmm. And that I was going to get
paid back in spades.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I was afraid that I was going to get to the end of the program, that I would have spent all of this money, and like every other experience I had had before this, that I just wasn't going to have gotten very much out of it.
That it wasn't going to work.
That it wasn't, just like everything else, that it wasn't going to work.
How was it different than anything else then? Is it the same as everything else you did?
No. No, were there pieces of it that I was familiar with? Yes. I had tried eating paleo. I had tried AIP, Whole30. I had tried this supplement or that supplement, but one of my dear colleagues refers to it as having all the beads, but where's the necklace?
Yes. Ooh, that's a good one.
I know, we have to give Aileen credit for that one.
Yeah.
But it was true. It's like I had a bunch of the beads. I had, books on finding the root cause of your Hashimoto's, and I had this treatment, but I was really worried that, and again, I think it was that external locus of control of, I'm not going to get enough out of this to justify the amount of money that I put into this.
What would you say to somebody who has that exact same fear right now? Someone's watching right now and saying, I don't know if I should click the link to watch the training or to join her Facebook group. What would you say to somebody like that with that exact same fear? It's more things that I've already tried. It's not going to work for me.
Yep.
What would you say to that person?
That the fear coming into it is it's justified how you might feel that way. That because likely past experiences have proven exactly that you don't get a very good return on investment.
Right.
This program takes all of those pieces, and when you really do apply all of those pillars, that it produces a synergistic effect. And the reality is it's not just hydration, and it's not just blood sugar, and it's not just hormones, and it's not just mindset. And it's all of those things all at once in a very individualized way.
Yeah.
That I feel like I've learned how to modify and adjust over time, so I can be a really good consumer now of, if I do go to a physician, if I do go to a specialist, I can be an equal partner in that conversation.
Yes.
And I can pick people, or if I go to a visit, like I took my son to the endocrinologist this week, and she was talking all about, he just needs to eat more. And I'm like, okay, this is a waste, this was a waste of my copay.
Well, now you have discernment to know that also. And
right.
You have data to back it up.
Right.
No, I didn't just need more healthy food or to eat more. I needed specific data on which foods I could remove and all the foods I could put back in. Data.
And she was looking at me like I was crazy when I was saying,
"Can we run hair, lady?"
I have hair. No, I was telling her, I'm like, we need to run these thyroid labs. And she did it. And so that's the piece too, is learning that your voice can be a powerful voice in this healing process.
Not just for you, but for your kids.
Yeah. I was going to say, I wish I hadn't waited the year, but I think I needed to really be ready. I needed to know that I was on board 110% with this, because you could go through 8 weeks and not I mean, you're going to get something out of it. The program's just too good. Yeah, I don't know that I would have been ready. I think I needed to be in a place where I was really, that I felt good about the investment that I was making in myself.
Yeah,
And
it's all about investing in you and your own worth. It goes back to the self-worth question.
Well, yeah. And that it wasn't being selfish, spending the amount of money that I was spending, and I wasn't wasting money, but it was an investment in me.
Well, and is it expensive now to be able to make the same amount of money and more money with half the effort? Is it expensive now to learn what you learn to be able to advocate for your children now?
No.
Is it expensive to have getting your hair back? Is it expensive to end fainting and having your heart rate at 200s for the past year? Is that too expensive for you?
No, it's worth every penny and then some. And, you know, and that's coming from somebody who was panicked about paying for it.
Yeah. Like, I think a lot of that is our money stories and our self-worth story. We have these money stories about what money is, means, but we have these stories of low self-worth, and we have money up here.
Right.
And it really is like this.
Right.
Money's just a tool, is like you can lose and you can make money back, get your life back and time with your kids back.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was ultimately what tipped it for me too. Was, I think it was one of your 5 pillars presentations where I think you said something similar to that. You don't get days back. You can't say, okay, you know, this money that I've saved was really worth. No.
We are the best teachers in the areas of our life that it is the greatest suffering.
Absolutely.
And everything that you talked about, your journey with this around money and around low self-worth, I had to go through. Yeah. Which is why I love the fact that it comes full circle and we can have a conversation now about how that has completely changed for you, for somebody else.
I'm a parent. I have a level of compassion and commitment to my work that wasn't there before I had kids, even if I thought it was. And your commitment and passion and unrelenting commitment to watching people grow and heal and be successful is why this program works.
Thank you, Ms. Merritt.
You're welcome.
She's talking, I think a big learning point here is that she didn't think she was worth investing in herself on. She looked at what the investment in the program is and she says, I'm not worth it, or it's not going to work. And I think it's really incredible that you see someone at the end of the journey a year later where now her fatigue is gone, her symptoms are improving drastically. She's able to make more money with less effort. And it has paid back financially in spades, but the quality of her life has really improved. I think that whole section where we talk about people's money story, I think what I learned for myself was that my own money story was standing in my own way. I didn't think I was worth investing in my own education and health outcomes for a long time. And I personally felt like I lost a decade of my children's life and my life. So Merritt's that was a great share. And we had a great conversation about that. So lovely. If you want to learn more about us, make sure you join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. Check out our website, drmaggieyou.com. And thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.